A reporter and a cameraman are killed while doing investigative journalism. And so it begins. Welcome to Random Recaps. In this video, I'm going to recap the movie. A group of college students travel to West Virginia to camp. Among the group are Allison, Chad, Chloe, Chuck, the Red Power Ranger, Jason, Naomi, Todd, Mitch, and Mike. The group stops at a gas station to buy beer. There, they encounter Tucker and Dale, two well-meaning hillbillies who have just bought their dream vacation home. A rundown cabin by a lake deep in the woods. Dale meets Allison, and he's attracted to her. His friend Tucker advises him to approach her and talk. Dale, with a bit of courage, tries to speak to her, but he gets intimidated and nervous, so all he manages to do is scare the group, causing them to leave.
You poor, ugly thing, you.
I told you, Tucker. I'm a zero with the ladies.
Tucker and Dale head to their cabin but are stopped by Sheriff Gurr, who warns them about the dangers of the area. Tucker and Dale don't take him seriously, so they continue to their dilapidated cabin. When they arrive, they are thrilled and start to repair it.
Dreams really do come true.
Oh, look out!
Meanwhile, the group of college students is camping, and Chad tells a story about the Memorial Day Massacre, a story that happened in the same woods. Years ago, a group of college students went into the woods, unaware that someone else was there with them. Some hillbillies murdered the students mercilessly, and only one person survived to tell the tale. Later, Tucker and Dale go fishing while having a beer. Meanwhile, we see that Chad has an interest in Allison, but she rejects him. The group goes to the lake to swim, where Tucker and Dale are fishing. As Allison is about to swim, she realizes that Tucker and Dale are watching her, gets scared, and hits her head. The two notice that Allison is drowning, so they help her.
Ah, we got your friend!
But her friends think they are kidnapping her.
What?
Frightened, they flee the lake, warning Chad that the hillbillies have Allison. The next day, Allison wakes up in Tucker and Dale's cabin, scared, believing she has been kidnapped by them. But the truth is, Tucker and Dale are nice guys. They even bring her food. Meanwhile, the group searches for Allison in the woods. Chuck thinks the hillbillies were eating Allison's face.
What?
Chuck goes to alert the police while Jason finds Tucker and Dale's cabin. Dale explains to Allison that they saved her while her friends left her alone.
Don't be mad at them. Some people just aren't any good in a crisis.
Seeing that Dale is friendly, Allison calms down. The group, believing that Tucker and Dale are psychopaths, sends Mitch to talk to them. Tucker is cutting wood with a chainsaw, but that particular log has a beehive in it. Tucker runs from the bees, which makes the group believe he's chasing them. Mitch, trying to escape, believing Tucker is after him, dies without realizing it. Meanwhile, Dale is playing, flirting, and talking with Allison to get to know her better.
My man!
Tucker arrives, his face swollen from the bee stings. He tells Allison he saw her friend outside, thinking he was running because of the bees. Dale offers to help Allison find her friends, so they know she's okay. But her friends think they killed Mitch. Chad convinces the others that they are in a fight for survival.
But it's us against them. Survival of the fittest.
Bruh.
The hillbillies go looking for the students, but they think they are being hunted down to be killed. Dale leaves a note with an axe. Later, Dale starts digging to build a latrine, and Allison comes to help him. The students, seeing this, believe she's digging her own grave. The group comes armed to try and save Allison. Save her from what? Well, nothing. These people are schizo. Todd starts attacking with a spear, and Allison, realizing this, warns Dale, who accidentally hits her with the shovel. They both survive, but Todd not so much. Meanwhile, Tucker is calmly throwing wood into a wood chipper. Mike runs to attack him, but when he jumps at Tucker, Tucker ducks.
What the fuck?
Tucker tries to save him, but it's too late. Dale takes Allison to the cabin, and Tucker tells her that one of her friends threw himself into the wood chipper like a maniac. Dale adds that he saw one of her friends die as well. As these kids keep killing themselves, Tucker thinks they have a suicide pact and came to the woods to end their lives. Dale thinks they also want to kill Allison. Scared, Dale wants to call the police, but Tucker thinks it's a bad idea to tell the police that the students are killing themselves. So they decide to clean up the mess before they are blamed for it. Meanwhile, everyone wants to leave except for Chad, who wants to stay and fight the hillbillies.
That's fucked up.
Chuck brings the sheriff and meets up with his friends, who tell him the hillbillies killed the others. Meanwhile, Tucker and Dale pull Mike out of the wood chipper, but bad timing. The sheriff arrives and sees them with the body in their hands. Tucker and Dale explain that the kids are killing themselves, and they have nothing to do with it. The officer obviously doesn't believe them. Dale tells him that Allison can explain it better, so they bring the cop inside the cabin, but he accidentally kills himself on a loose beam. The students, seeing this, think the hillbillies killed him. Chuck grabs the officer's gun to shoot, but doesn't realize the safety is on.
Oh, you gotta take the safety off on the side there.
When he takes it off, he accidentally shoots himself. Chad appears, grabs the gun, and starts shooting at them. He starts shooting at the cabin where Tucker and Dale are hiding. Chad kidnaps Dale's dog. Tucker grabs a nail gun to defend himself and hands it to Dale. Dale distracts the students with the nail gun while Tucker sneaks around the back to rescue the dog. The students notice and chase after Tucker. He hides in the leaves, but when they find him, Chad knocks him out. When Tucker wakes up, he realizes the group has tied him to a tree. Chad avenges Mike by chopping him with an axe, even though Tucker had nothing to do with Mike's death. Allison wakes up, and Dale tells her that her friends are trying to kill Tucker and his dog.
It's like all your friends just decided to go nuts all at the same time.
Her friends arrive at the cabin, and Allison tries to calm Dale down, saying she'll talk to her friends, believing it may be a misunderstanding. As she leaves the cabin, Allison grabs something her friends threw. Tucker's fingers with a note that says, Allison is terrified, not understanding why her friends are doing this. Dale grabs a machete, determined to go after his friend. Before leaving, Allison explains that her friends may believe she's been kidnapped since they thought Tucker and Dale were dangerous due to their appearance when they first saw them. Dale is offended and goes after his friend.
Because that's what heroes do.
Dale manages to find Tucker but falls into a trap that nearly kills him.
I never thought I'd say this, but I'm glad I'm not hung like a bear.
Meanwhile, Chad and Naomi enter the cabin looking for Allison. Allison tells them the hillbillies haven't done anything to her, but Chad still wants to burn the cabin. Allison tries to stop him, but Chad and Naomi insist that Tucker and Dale are the bad guys. Allison tries to make them understand that it's all a misunderstanding, but Naomi thinks Allison has Stockholm Syndrome.
When someone who's been kidnapped ends up falling in love with their kidnapper.
Chad confronts Allison, but at that moment, Tucker and Dale arrive to help her. Allison wants to fix things and sits them down to have tea and tell their sides of the story.
Is that chamomile tea? Because I can't have that. It fucks with my asthma.
Chad recounts how his father was killed in the Memorial Day massacre, the story he told earlier, and his mother was tortured, with her being the only one who escaped. When he was born, his mother was already institutionalized, and he knows the story through his grandmother. Allison looks confused, thinking, what does this story have to do with anything? But thanks for sharing.
Okay. Thank you for sharing with us, Chad.
Dale says, what does that have to do with me? I didn't even kill a fish.
That's right. You can't even hurt a fish.
Jason and Chloe arrive at the cabin to find out what's happening and think their friends are trapped.
Bruh.
Jason enters to kill Tucker but accidentally fails.
Oh well, we tried.
Chad, being crazy, wants to kill Dale. Tucker helps, but Chad throws a gas lamp, burning Jason. Chloe tries to put out the fire but throws gasoline instead.
Are you stupid or something?
The Red Power Ranger is dead. Tucker, Dale, and Allison manage to escape the cabin before it explodes. Chad also survives and, now insane and scarred, vows revenge. He tries to kill the others and the three escape, but since Dale is a bit clumsy, they crash.
You can't catch us now.
When Dale wakes up, he realizes Allison is gone and that Tucker is injured after trying to stop Chad from taking Allison. Tucker gives Dale an emotional pep talk to rescue her. Dale gathers his courage and with the help of his dog, finds Allison's location. Chad ties up Allison, telling her she has become one of them.
You've gone hillbilly on me, Allison.
Chad realizes Dale has arrived, and Dale grabs a chainsaw to defend himself. When he finds Allison, he tries to untie her, but Chad starts the machine to cut Allison in half. Dale uses the chainsaw to help her, but Chad arrives to stop him, and the fight between Dale and Chad begins, while Allison is about to be cut in half. To prevent this, Dale throws the axe just in time. Dale and Chad continue fighting. He throws the chainsaw and runs with Allison. They reach the sawmill office, where they discover news clippings revealing that Chad's father was one of the hillbillies responsible for the massacre 20 years ago, not one of the victims. Chad enters, and Dale shows him the newspaper article with his father's picture. Chad, furious at the truth, convulses after being hit with a box of chamomile tea that triggers his asthma. Chad collapses and falls out the window, seemingly dead. The police, reporter, and cameraman from the beginning of the movie arrive late at the cabin and report that the deaths seem to result from a suicide pact and a deranged killer, revealed to be Chad, who survived the fall and murders them during their investigation. Meanwhile, Tucker is in the hospital, recovered, and they even reattached his fingers, though they may have gotten them mixed up. Dale, being a good friend, brings him a beer as a gift. Tucker asks Dale if he managed to ask Allison out, and he's happy to hear they're going bowling together. That night, during the date, Dale encourages a fellow hillbilly to talk to some girls and just be himself.
Something you're right.
I know.
I'm gonna go talk to her.
Okay.
Allison and Dale confess their feelings for each other. They then kiss. In the background, the other hillbilly accidentally knocks a girl unconscious, starting a new misunderstanding. But Dale doesn't care.
Oh my God, should we go help her?
Hell no.
And that's how the movie ends.